Thanks, Ipshit, but I don't have the guidelines. Maybe I'll just read them out for today. So next time onwards, I'll also come prepared for this part.
No problem at all.
Okay. So hi everyone. Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. I welcome you all to our meeting of Panchkula Toastmasters Club. My name is Meenu and I'm playing the role of Sergeant at Arms for the meeting. So friends, we are all here at the platform of Toastmasters because we believe in the collaborative and supportive environment that it offers us to enhance our communication and leadership skills. As a SSA, it's my duty to lay down the rules of the meeting. Please keep your video on and audio on mute whenever not speaking. Kindly avoid talking about sex, politics, and religion in a derogatory manner so as to not hurt sentiments of anyone. Kindly rename yourself on Zoom, starting with the role that you are playing today, followed by your name. With that, let us get started with the meeting and join our hands together to welcome our presiding officer, Toastmaster Ipshit.
Thank you so much, Manu. Very well done as Sergeant at Arms, taking the role for the first time. And good morning, everyone. Again, on a Sunday morning to Panchkula Toastmasters Club meeting number 569. So we are gradually but definitely progressing towards our 600th meet, which is a big feat because the club has been there for 12 years and there has been meeting every week. So it's a long legacy that we can discuss. So here today we have two guests with us. So we would just like to hear very quickly about them. So it's better for me not to introduce, but to ask them. So first of all, I would like to ask Atul from Chandigarh to introduce him for us all and how he came to know about Toastmaster, what does he do, and what he looks forward from this session. So Atul, over to you. Atul, you are on mute. Please, can you unmute it?
Yes. So I'm Atul from Chandigarh, currently pursuing MBA. I have experience in mechanical designing and I'm also stock market analyst.
Okay.
So I heard about this Toastmaster from a friend of mine. But I didn't know actually what it was earlier. Then when I just joined college last year, so there were another people who have joined this Toastmaster. So little by little, I got to know about it, that this is something I can improve my speaking skills here. So that this is what I'm looking for to improve my speaking skills and maybe.
Okay. Thank you so much, Atul, for your introduction, and glad that you have discovered Toastmasters through your friends and you're here. Definitely, it's a platform where you improve your speaking skills as well as leadership, networking, and such. And because it's your first meet, do listen and observe what happens. You can get a hang of it, and as well as there is a section called as impromptu section. We call it in our colloquial terms as table topics. So there you can definitely take part, even though you are a guest. So today, Toastmaster Girija is our table topics master. So she will be giving you a topic. You can come ahead and just attempt it. So just to begin, let me tell that Toastmasters is a platform where you don't judge people based on their skill sets at all, because we are all here to support each other, to help each other grow. So just without thinking anything else, removing the inhibition, you can just give it a try. So it's for 1 to 2 minutes. So in that way, you can be a part of our session today. Otherwise, in all other things, you can just see how it goes. It's a very structured format. And this format is same across the world. Whenever you join a Toastmaster session in any part of the world, in any country or any part of the country, India itself, the structure is same. So you'll get a first-hand experience of it today itself. So all the best to you. Welcome to the session for the first time. And I'm just hoping and wishing that you have a good time here.
Thank you.
And now coming back to the other Atul. Welcome, sir. Welcome, Atul. So please, can we have a quick round of introduction from you as well?
I'm Atul Sharma, and I'm a web developer. I'm 33, by the way, and I googled it about Toastmasters. and I'm here to improve my public speaking skills.
That's great, sir. That's great, Atul. And again, as I said to the other Atul, it's a best platform to practice and grow. And great that you came from Google. Nowadays, the digital age is there, so we can find everything and we stay in connect with you. And the same things for you as well. You can get a hang of the session today, and I will connect to you separately as well, describing the processes and what goes and what all Toastmasters has to offer. Along with it, you can also take part in our impromptu section. As I say, it's called table topic section. It comes after, is the second section of the segment. Okay. And welcome again and have a good time. And again, we'll come back to you later on in the sessions when we start our different sections. Now, we have distinguished Toastmaster Rohit Reddy, who is a friend of mine. That's the most important thing. But more than that, he is a distinguished Toastmaster and he's the area director like me, but of a different area of Kolkata region. So area K4, if I'm not wrong. So welcome Rohit to our session. Good to see you.
Hi, Toastmaster. Thank you so much for inviting me.
So just to give a quick anecdote, Rohit pinged me hi in the morning. I don't know for what reason, and I sent him the meeting link, and he's here. So that's how we join meetings. So he had something else to discuss. I said, first join the session, let's enjoy, and then we can discuss our stuff. Thank you, Rohit, for accepting that invitation and coming up here and joining us all. So let's start the meeting. So as I said by Toastmaster Meenu and the president, so president is nothing, just a coordinator to coordinate all the events of the club, to introduce the guests, make them feel at home, and take things forward. So along with being the president today, I am playing two more roles because the person who was playing the role had some emergency, was out. So I am playing the role of the Toastmaster of the day and also the general evaluator. So there are other role players also who would be playing their part, and we have a speaker today. So today's session is special because our speaker is delivering his first speech. So the first speech is always very special in Toastmasters because there's the first time you come ahead, practice your speech, write it down, get it mentored, and deliver in front of all. So whenever a speaker delivers his or her first speech, when it was used to be physical, we used to all stand up and give a standing ovation. So for now, it's not possible. So today, it's a request for every one of you when the speaker finishes his speech, please, at least everyone is on their camera, but those who are not, kindly switch on the camera and your audio and you can applaud for the speaker, because the first attempt that a speaker takes and just a hint of encouragement or appreciation makes the speaker goes a long way. So that's what we believe in, that's what we practice in. So because today I'm the impromptu table Toastmaster of the day, so let me first describe to you, because we have a couple of guests also here, that what a Toastmaster session looks like. So a Toastmaster session starts with the prepared speech section. So it has three sections in basically. So the first section is called as prepared speech section. So when you become a member of Toastmaster, you are called as Toastmaster. So you get access to educational pathways. So those pathways helps you to achieve your goals, your skills, that what you are here for. And you start writing your speeches based on those goals, on those skills, on those parameters. When you write a speech, you send it to your mentors, they get it mentored, and then you start practicing either in front of a camera, in front of a mirror, or in front of your friends and well-wishers. After you practice it, you come to a Toastmaster session like this we are having today, and you deliver it in front of people. So in that section is called as prepared speech section, because you prepared the speech beforehand and come here, right? The second section is called the impromptu or table topic section. Here, a table topics master gives you topics and you have to speak about that topic for 1 to 2 minutes, whatever comes to your mind. Maybe may it be a story, an anecdote, an example, a motivational speech, whatever you are comfortable with, you can speak on that section. So what is the benefit of table topic section is that it prepares you to speak at any surrounding, any environment, at any situation irrespective. So that is the benefit of taking part in a table topic section. Now the final section is called as evaluation section, which is one of the most important section in a Toastmasters meeting, because in this section, there is a general evaluator who, along with his team or her team, evaluates you and gives you feedback. So it's feedback, it's not criticism. So it has constructive feedback, all the good things that you have done in your speech, along with all the things that you can improve upon, so that the next time you come upon here and speak, you can incorporate those changes, those feedbacks slowly and gradually into your communication style. So these are basically the 3 sections that goes on in every session of Toastmasters meeting. So again, as a general evaluator, as I'm the general evaluator today, so it's my responsibility to note down each and everything that happened throughout the session and give my feedback, my part of feedback. Along with it, I have a team of 3 people, 3 wonderful people who help me in evaluating the session because it's a very extensive task. So I have 3 people with me. So let me describe the 3 roles and then I will invite the 3 people who are playing the role. The first role is the role of a grammarian. Now, a grammarian takes care of all your grammar, your English language, as well as your pronunciation and gives you the feedback. Like if you have done it correctly, if you need to improve on that, how you can improve on that, all the good usages of grammar that you have made, what all things that you could have added as a language or part of the English language and as such. But before that, let me tell you, Toastmasters is not about improving your English because there are a lot of clubs where even bilingual sessions also happens. Hindi also is used, Bengali is used, Punjabi is used. A lot of things are used because a Toastmasters believes in communication. So communication is without the hindrance of language. But for Panchkula Toastmasters, because it is English based, therefore we follow English. You have to have the club based on certain language. So we have defined it as to be English and therefore we follow English, but it doesn't matter. You can go to Africa and listen to a different language. I joined a session mistakenly and they started speaking something else. I said, what session I'm in? So they were speaking their own local language, so which is perfectly all right, but you have to define it earlier. So today's grammarian is Toastmaster Anurag. So Toastmaster Anurag, can you please describe your role in short and what you're going to do throughout the session, if it's possible, convenient to you?
Yeah, thank you, Absid. As you have already delineated that I'll be taking care of the major / minor grammatical errors that inadvertently creep into our speech, maybe sometimes on a subconscious level also. So I'll be just taking care of all these nitty-gritty and pass it on at the end of the session, towards the end of the session, I would rather say.
So much, Anurag. And do you have a word of the day right at the top of your mind just to share to everyone so that we all can use?
Actually, I had not come prepared with the word.
No problem.
But
I have a word.
Yes, but I have a word. But
You
yes,
have a
I
word.
do have a
I
word.
knew that. Please go ahead.
It is limpid. It is one of my favorite words. I use it many a times in my poetry or when I write fiction. It means pure, limpid, clear.
Can you just spell it out so that I can type in the chat box for everybody?
Limpid, limpid.
Limpid. Okay. Sure. Thank you so much, Anurag. And this is the word.
I'm sorry to intervene. It is Limpid, limpid.
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry,
it's
Limpid. Okay, I know
this
word. I
limpid.
Limpid.
Yeah, and it's pronounced as such, limpid.
So it's a request to every speaker to try to use this word. So again, the purpose behind it is to learn a new word every Sunday and try to use it in our professional and personal life. So if possible, if you can use this word in your delivery, it's nothing like that. So it's like make my sentences when we used to be in our school days. Give a word and make a sentence. Just try to use it in that way and it will be helpful for everyone. Thank you so much, Anurag, for that word and for your description and your help in conducting the grammarian section. Now coming to our R counter, today's R counter is again another charismatic Toastmaster who is found everywhere and is very energetic in being a part of this fraternity. It is Toastmaster Chintan. So Toastmaster Chintan, over to you to describe your role as an R counter.
Greetings, Toastmasters and dear guests. Today, my role would be counting or pay attention to words or sounds which are used as crutch words or pause fillers. For example, words or sounds like or, well, like, repeat words. These are the words or sounds which diminishes the power of your speech, and your communication would not be limpid if you use such kind of words. And that's the reason I'm here to help you out where you can improve yourself and make your communication more clear. Just a suggestion to all of you, whenever you tend to make such noises, try to have a short pause, take a deep breath. That would allow you to continue your speech without using these filler words. With that, I'll represent my report at the end whenever General Evaluator calls upon. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Chintan. And you have started the flow with using the word. Yes, Toastmaster Girija?
I just have a question. As we just heard that we can take a pause or a deep breath so that the speech is not interfered in between and we do not use the filler words or crutch words. Suppose this pause is a little long. So
Yes.
would that not be a filler as well?
Okay, my opinion, Toastmaster Girija, is that you have to choose one of that. So instead of using basically couple of times, it's better to use it two pauses. So again, the pause also shouldn't be used, but if you hear a speaker speaking a lot of filler words and a speaker who is using a lot of pauses, so you will definitely prefer the speaker with pauses more than the filler words. So at least you have that calmness in that part. But again, the long pauses also needs to be avoided, but it's one of the better. It's way to develop, it's slowly to grow. So ultimately it has long pauses has to be short pauses, and then short pauses has to be credible pauses. So again, that part has to improve. I
So
think
start with the short pauses, and after some of the practice, you will have the pauses which not be visible to the audience, and that's how. Or you may decrease your speech speed so that decrease your pace so that you don't tend to use the words like well, or that might help, in my opinion.
yes, definitely, exactly, Chintan. And also when you decrease the pauses, or as said by Chintan, when you slow the speed of the speech, sometimes the pauses are indistinguishable. So audience doesn't know whether it is an intentional pause or you have actually paused. So it helps. So the audience feels that yes, that's the speed of your speech, how you deliver. So that's how it.
I also have a suggestion here.
Yes, Anurag.
All of us at sometimes when we are speaking at some point in time, we do tend to maybe forget, or maybe the clarity of thought just takes a pause. So I would suggest that if something like that happens, we can sometimes just pause. Sometimes we can just put a smile on our face, because the audience has no idea if we are stuck somewhere. For example, if we look at movies, when we're watching a comedy movie, when we are watching theater, after delivering any punchline or some important dialogue, the artist just takes a pause. There are two reasons for that: to help gauge the reaction of the audience and also let the punchline take effect on the audience. So in the same way, we can use both a small pause or a small smile, which can masquerade as a pause, so that there is no set pattern. Otherwise, a person can easily gauge that you are trying to recollect your thoughts if the pause is of the same, I would say, type.
I agree, Toastmaster Anurag, with these points as well. So we had a small discussion on pauses, which is very important for every speech. The usage of pause is everything. So that makes the speech humorous, because as you can see, the stand-up comedians, if you follow in YouTube or TV, the pauses are very important because the punchline just comes after the pause. So it depends, and also the comedian takes a pause after it for the audience to soak in the joke. So it's same with humorous speeches. It's same if you listen to the speeches given by our ex-president of USA, Obama. He also takes pauses to make sure his message reaches out to the audience. So the usage of pause is very important in our speech, and hopefully we'll see a demonstration of it as well when Toastmaster Anish delivers his speech today, that how we use pause on good things also, and also if we find it out anything else, we would also suggest him to improve on that part. So thank you so much, all of you, for your inputs. Now coming on to our third role player is the role player of a timer. Now, every speech is very valuable, but it doesn't mean that we have to keep on speaking. So you have to stay or you have to keep your speech within a time limit. Today's timer is Toastmaster Anishuk, but till the time he gives or delivers his speech, I will play the role of a timer. So as a timer, so there are cards shown specifically for Atul, both the Atuls. So when a speaker speaks a minimum limit of time limit, for example, today's speaker is going to deliver his speech from 4 to 6 minutes. So at the fourth minute, or as the minimum time, a green card is shown on the screen just to let the speaker know that he or she has reached fourth minute. Again, on the fifth minute, a yellow card is shown just to let the speaker know he or she has reached the average time. And on the sixth minute, a red card is shown as that the speaker has reached the maximum time limit. But the speaker doesn't need to end immediately after the red card, but has 30 seconds more to wrap up the speech. So this is how the timer goes. Again, as I said, timing is important because unless we keep a track of our time, we just keep on speaking. And as Indians, we love to speak. So if we just give a platform where you're not uh, hindered by time, we can keep on discussing, gossiping, and speaking forever. So that is the reason we have a time limit. And every section has a time. Prepared speech has 5 to 7 minutes or 4 to 6 minutes. Evaluation has 2 to 3 minutes. So today's evaluator is Toastmaster Meenu. So she would be taking 2 to 3 minutes to evaluate the speech of Toastmaster Anish. And table topic speaker has 1 to 2 minutes because it's impromptu. We don't ask the speaker to speak for 5 to 7 minutes, but for 1 to 2 minutes. And the speaker can speak a maximum of 2 minutes, 30 seconds. So this is all about our 3 sections. And my role as a general evaluator would be coming back at the end of the session and providing you with these feedbacks. Then coming back as a role of a Toastmaster of the day, it's very odd to play Toastmaster of the day and general evaluator at the same time because I take the maximum amount of time. So if you listen me for a long time today, so it's not my fault, it's the fault of the role. But let's start with the session. Let's start with the very first section. And therefore, today I have not kept any theme. Or generally, the Toastmaster of the day is basically the host of the session. So takes the session forward, introduces the speaker, the evaluators, describes the section and takes it forward along with a theme. So today, because we don't have the liberty of that, so I'm not keeping a theme, or else generally a Toastmaster of the day keeps a theme and discusses about the theme as he or she goes by the session. So let us quickly move on to our very first section because we are excited to listen to our first speaker, our only speaker today, but our first speaker who is delivering his first speech. So today I'm not evaluating him because I am kind of his friend and mentor. So I know what he is going to speak, and therefore we have a wonderful evaluator today, Toastmaster Meenu, who is going to evaluate Toastmaster Anish. So Toastmaster Meenu, can you please describe the objectives of this speech and the title? I think you know the title also. So title of the speech along with the objectives of the speaker. Over to you, Meenu.
Okay. Thanks, Toastmaster Ipshit. A very good morning once again, everyone, especially to Toastmaster Anish. So it's an icebreaker speech for him. And the purpose of the speech is to introduce themselves to the club and learn the basic structure of the public speech. So other than this, we don't have any particular objective. It is just that we want to know more about Toastmaster Anish. Timer, please note the timing will be 4 to 6 minutes. Over to you, TM Anishok, and good luck.
Okay, thank you so much, Meenu, for reading that out. So we have our first speaker ready. So how are you feeling, Anishok, before delivering the speech?
A little excited and a little nervous.
Okay, that's a great combination of being excited and nervous. It's a very similar feeling among all the speakers who are here. And Toastmaster Paramjit also smiled. He said, yeah, that's very normal. You can be excited and you can get nervous at the same time. So all the best, Toastmaster Anishok. So introducing to you the speaker for today, Toastmaster Anishok, with his speech title, Definition of Self. Definition of Self, Toastmaster Anishok. Toastmaster Anishok, Definition of Self. Over to you.
Good morning, fellow Toastmasters. Though I've had the privilege of connecting with a few of you on past occasions, I've never had the chance to properly introduce myself. Hi, I am Anish Mishra, the only child of my parents, 31 years of age as of today. Divorced, an IITian, an ex-IMBian, and presently employed in one of the big 4 consulting firms worldwide. An avid reader, a movie buff, an amateur cook, a pro gamer, and a travel enthusiast. Was it to your liking? My introduction, I mean. After all, answers like this are the ones that we are taught to give whenever someone asks us the most famous question in probably the history of questions, which isn't even a question. Tell me something about yourself. If I'm wrong, unmute yourself right this second, and speak up. And I'll end my speech right here. Because then I'll have to rethink my entire thought process. No one? Well, I'll take your silence as an indication that you do agree with me. I'd even take the liberty of saying You might have given an introduction very similar to the one I just gave you. But is that what truly describes you or describes any of us as a person? I don't think so. I really don't. I think it's the moments, the few moments that truly matter in our lives, that define us as an individual. In my quest to introduce myself to you properly, I would like to take this time and show you a few glimpses from my life. The first instance that I'm going to tell you about happened when I was in my 6th grade. I was based at Delhi because my dad has a transferable job, and he was a man of meager means. He wasn't getting paid the millions. And we stayed there in a meager household, just trying to live by making ends meet. It was there that once at night, because I was a very active child, I was awake past my bedtime and I heard a conversation between my mom and my dad, which was very emotional. I realized that they were going through some financial troubles. And all I could think of was, what can I do to help them? What could I possibly do? It was mid of the session. I couldn't even say that I'll study hard, get a scholarship. No, that's not going to happen till next year. And I'm not earning anything, so I can't contribute. So the next morning, after giving it a lot of thought through a sleepless night, I went up to my dad and I said, Dad, I don't want to take the bus to school anymore. My dad was a little shocked because he didn't expect this while sipping his morning coffee. And he was like, what's wrong? What has happened? He kept prodding me a little bit more about it. And finally, I told him that I heard you last time. At that particular moment, he put his cup down and he had tears in his eyes and he just hugged me. He hugged me tight, held me close, and just said one thing to me. Don't grow up so quickly, my son. That was one of the most limpid moments I've ever shared with my father, where I got to know what he was made of and how much he valued my presence in my life. Another moment that I would like to share is about being in school. Like I said, I was a small town kid from Odisha who went to study in Delhi. I was an outcast, a misfit. I didn't belong there, at least in the opinion of my classmates. So I was bullied, fat kid from another state studying amongst us, a recipe for bullying. And I was bullied a lot. All I did was put my head down and I continued to press on, continued to carry on with my life. And then on, I knew that my time will come. And it did come, ladies and gentlemen, it did come. When I cleared my board exams, I topped my class. And believe me, if you're studying in a school in Delhi and you're top of the class in academics, nothing else matters. Every bully will shut up. They will. And if they don't, all you need to do is just say, dude, you're beneath me. I know it sounds very demeaning, but trust me, they had it coming. There, I learned another valuable lesson in my life. The lesson of confidence, knowing that it was me who was writing the story of my life. And I could decide whatever I wanted to put in it. I could decide to just lie down and take it, or rise up and just fight against it. Because no matter what we do, nothing, ladies and gentlemen, hits as hard as life. But life isn't about getting hit in the face. It's about getting back up. It's about getting back up and moving forward. It doesn't matter what you get hit in the face with. It's about how much you can take and keep moving forward. So on that note, having given you a few glimpses into my life, allow me the opportunity to reintroduce myself. I am Anish Mishra, the living, breathing hashtag of my parents, Anita and Ashok. The embodiment of a small town kid who dared to dream big. The remnant of a starry-eyed lover boy who has had his heart broken far too many times, but is still looking for love. The flamboyant extrovert that hides behind every introvert. The Timex watch refusing to stop in a digital age. The man that expects the worst, but always hopes for the best. A man who doesn't see the glass as half full or half empty. He just simply sees it as what it is, refillable. Thank you.
Okay, so can we have a round of applause for our speaker, and if possible, switching our camera and applause the very first speech. And can you believe it? It's the first speech that the speaker is delivered in Toastmasters meeting, and it was an awesome speech. And I know Anishok since last 4-5 years, and till then it's always mesmerizing to listen about his stories from his own mouth. And loved the way you introduced and reintroduced yourself, because at certain point of our life we also keep on redefining of who we are. So some degrees, some certifications, some qualifications never defines us, but it's the experiences of life, the stories that have happened with us that keep on redefining us at every phase of our life. And that keeps changing, right? When you keep on facing new and new things in your life, it keeps on changing. So for example, if I remember, so when I used to define myself or tell something about myself in the interviews before MBA, it was something very different. After MBA, it was different, not because I got qualified in MBA, but because I found so many friends and faced many situations in life which was not there beforehand when I was in my previous job. Then when I came to Chandigarh and when I started doing Toastmasters as well, it was a different definition, because I started meeting different people, staying in a cold country. And again, I am from Odisha, and I came here to the northern India, stayed in a different alien surrounding. That time I didn't like the city so much because I couldn't get my favorite food, I couldn't get my parents with me, but slowly I started loving this city. So that's happened when you start loving the people of the city. Then everything's you find it very suitable. You find the weather good, and you find the hills beautiful, and such things happen. So really, I could rediscover myself in that journey of your 6 minutes. And for example, I just forgot your red card for 10 seconds just because I was mesmerized at your conclusion part. So I was just listening what you're speaking, and I missed 10 more seconds, but you are within your time limit. So I think that does the trick. And with that, we would come back to Toastmaster Meenu for evaluation at the evaluation section. But Toastmaster Anishok, you can just take up the role of a timer if it's okay with you for the table topic section.
Definitely.
Okay. So as I said, today we don't have a theme to go on, but we would like to hear something about winter, because it's winter. And again, as I said, I'm not from this part of the country. I feel more cold or colder than other people, because there is a place, our capital of Orissa, which is called as Bhubaneswar. And Bhubaneswar, if I can describe, it's kind of Mumbai. So if it's 25, 20, it's too cold for all of us. And now it's below 10. So that's how the temperature in Orissa is. And again, I'm from Rourkela, a place called Rourkela, which is nearby to Ranchi. Then the temperature of Rourkela is similar to what Chandigarh is. We have faced temperatures of around 3-4 degrees centigrade. So I have different kinds of experiences of winter. I have stayed in Kota, I have stayed in Jammu. I have also stayed in Sikkim for 6 months, one of my job stint. So that has been a variety of experiences for me, but I would like to hear somebody else describing what winter is for them. So let's start with Toastmaster Paramjit. So he is from here, and he has been the pillar of Panchkula Toastmasters. So Toastmaster Paramjit, what is winter for you? How do you like or dislike or have an experience of winter?
Thank you, Ipsit. Wonderful. First of all, let me congratulate Mr. Anishok for a wonderful speech. Really mesmerizing. No words. You said, your papa said, don't grow up so quickly, but you have grown up already so quickly. Beyond words. Really, a great speech. Now, coming back to the topic, winter. It is a part of the season. In North, since we are used to this variety of weather, temperatures, in summer it goes extreme 45, and in winter it goes extreme cold. So slowly and slowly you get used to the whatsoever may be the temperatures. You get there are so many things happening in winter. It is really enjoyable part of the year. So many functions. You enjoy so many functions in winter, which normally in summer you don't get the same type of enjoyment because of weather, hot weather. So winter is a wonderful part, and like any other part of the season, it is enjoyable. Slowly and steadily, as you have got used to the winters, you get used to the winter of the north also. So that's all from myself.
Thank you so much, Paranjit sir, for describing what winter is. Now, can I ask Atul from Chandigarh for now, that what is winter for you? Do you have any specific memories of winter, or Christmas, or New Year, whatever? So, Atul, are you here with us? Okay. Can I ask the second Atul Sharma to just share his part? Hi, Atul.
Yeah, okay. So for me, winter is a warm blanket and a cup of tea. Yeah, mostly.
Right. So that's the best thing I think about winter, a warm blanket and a cup of tea. And it's very difficult to get up from that bed and do stuff, right? So it's just a comfort zone that we are all here. So definitely I can relate to it, Atul. And anything else of your childhood days? So are you from Chandigarh or are you from Panchkula from your childhood and your college and school days?
Yeah, actually, I'm from Chandigarh. When I was born in Chandigarh and lived there for some years,
Okay.
and then after that we came here.
Okay.
It's been 20 years.
Oh,
Yeah.
almost in 20 years. So that's a lifetime. Again, you have to redefine yourself. Okay. That's great to know that you're from Chandigarh. Now you're in Panchkula, a web developer, and you like in the winter within blankets and a cup of hot coffee or hot tea. So the best scenario, I could just imagine the thing, and maybe I would rush to a coffee after the session ends. So thank you so much for sharing that with us. So with this, let us quickly move on to our second section. And why I started asking questions or sharing the experiences, because the second section is all about that. So before that, before I hand it over to our tabletop master, I would like to know from Toastmaster Kiricha that what winter is for her, because now she would be giving topics to other people. So before that, if I can ask her that what is exactly for her is defined as winter.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Ipsit, and a very good morning again, everyone. First, I would like to congratulate Anish. That was a very well-structured, very well-delivered speech. Kudos for that. It doesn't at all seem that you were speaking for the first time, and I did not have any doubt that it would be a great speech from the very beginning. I have heard you before, so I was very sure this was going to be wonderful. And as it turns out, yes, we are all praises for what you just delivered. It was wonderful, worth learning, and yes, some introspection as well. And when you did speak of don't grow up so fast, I must admit I had tears in my eyes, because there have been, certain incidences when I was with my kids. My kids were 5-6-year-old and a 1.5-year-old. I have 2 daughters. So I suffer from migraine, and I was having a very bad attack on a particular wintry morning. And I was in Shimla then, as I was a medical officer in the railways. So my little one, or rather than the elder one, who was a 6-year-old, she comes up to me. I was not able to get up. I didn't want to. Migraine is a very bad kind of headache that you have. You don't want to listen to any noise, or don't want light. You just want to sleep it off or do something about it. And there are multiple triggers for it. So I was just trying to put my head into the pillow and sleep. She comes up to me and says, and I was feeling panicked, anxious that my kids are there. I'm not able to do anything. I'm not able to get up. I'm not able to feed them. And for a mother, it's a very bad feeling. You start feeling guilty. You start feeling miserable. So my little one comes up and says, don't worry, Mama, I can make you some tea. You can have some biscuits. I'll have some biscuits. I'll feed the little one with some more biscuits. Okay, she's a 6-year-old. This is all she can do. This is where she can reach. It is that day I realized, why are my kids growing up so fast? I don't want, I mean, there's a part in every mother, especially if you are handling your kids all alone. You want them to grow up so that you are not troubled with all that part. But at the same time, when they speak these things, you don't want them to grow up. You really don't want them to grow up. So when they come up to you and they start sharing your troubles, they start understanding you, you feel happy, you feel proud. At the same time, you feel hurt. Why? Why am I not capable? So Mr. Anishok, the son of Ashok, and Anita and Mr. Ashok, you have turned out to be a wonderful person. And again, congratulations for all of that. For me, winter is the best season, I would say. I was born, first and foremost. Nothing can be better than that. And I experienced the best of winters while in Shimla. Lovely snowfall, which I did witness for the first time in my life. The clear snow, the white, pure, I really didn't have words to express, and I still can't. When the first time I held it in my hands, the falling snow from the sky, quiet. You couldn't hear a sound, nothing at all, just wisps of cotton falling into your hands and piling up as the cold, white, pristine snow. It's beautiful. I just can't describe it. It's so wonderful. And it does come with the cheers that everyone, we have most of the festivals in winters. And as Toastmaster Paramjit pointed out, just a part of another season, we enjoy festivals more. Yes, we do enjoy festivals more because most of the festivals fall in this season. So winter is a beautiful feeling. Now, without wasting much of your time, we'll move on further to the table topics. And today I have tried to gather some quotes, I would say, from some poets. I've always had this love for the word literature and poetry being one of my favorite. I'm not a poet, but I do appreciate poets. And I don't know whether it's a blessing or curse when you get married to a poet. So yeah, so that's how it is. So we'll just move forward, and I would like to know who is our first volunteer who would take up one of the table topics.
I can take Chintan this side. But Toastmaster Ipsit, can you note down my R's and Ums? Because I also suffer from that a lot.
Yeah, sure. I'll note down. We can have Toastmaster Chintan and then Toastmaster Paramjit. I think he was also raising his hand. Over to you, Girish.
Sure. Fine. Toastmaster Chintan, the topic for you is, it ought to come like the leaves of the tree, or it better not come at all.
Nature is a beautiful teacher. Whenever you are in doubt what to do in life, just observe nature, how it operates. You can learn the meaning of life by just observing smallest particle or being of the nature. Even if you watch a tree and the process, how it grows, you will understand that how you can pass through various seasons of life and be limpid about your life, the objectives you have and the milestones you want to pursue. You can learn the virtue of patience. You can learn the virtue of persistence, resilience. You can learn how to remain calm in the very daunting sunlight, as well as you can learn, even though being torturous by some people and by nature, still give shade to the people who are sitting down. Anything in life, if it is meant for us, it will come to us. You should not be panicked that why and when would I get. If it is meant for you, you will receive it. Just like the law of attraction, you need to do whatever is required for you to do. Similarly, Gita says the same thing. Work for the cause, don't expect the result. And if anything is there for you, meant for you, will come to you, just like the leaves come on a tree. Otherwise, there's no need to catch hold of something, going after the thing without knowing and enjoying the process. All of you, I want to share my personal experience and the moral I have learned the hard way, that never chase your goals or results, that you forget the process of learning and joy. Because life is a marathon and not a sprint. Never forget that journey gives the enjoyment and fulfillment and happiness, not the result or destination. Over to you, Table Topics Master.
That is very, very well put, Toastmaster Chintan. You have encompassed all the elements of the speech, and I'm sure it comes from experience. You have a little bit about yourself. You spoke about the general, you wrapped it up so well. It was very well done. And it is very true. We should not forget the joy in the attempt of attaining our goals. The journey is always far better than the destination. And yes, it will come like the leaves of a tree. It's only but natural. Leaves fall off, they come again. This is after autumn, the winter comes, leaves fall, the trees are barren, but come spring, the leaves will come naturally. Be patient. Wonderful. Thank you. And who is our next volunteer?
I think Paramjit sir will go ahead.
Thank you, sir.
Sure. Okay, sir, for you, we have this topic. Wisdom is oft times nearer when we stoop than when we soar. Wisdom is oft times nearer when we stoop than when we soar.
Thank you, Table Topic Master, fellow Toastmasters, and dear guests. Wisdom is often nearer when we stoop than we soar. As rightly pointed out by Toastmaster Chintan, everything in nature happens very slowly. We have to be patient. Give time the time. The things will come to you of their own. It simply requires your effort. Sometimes we try to be smart. We try to apply our wisdom going against the will of the nature. I think we must be very patient. We must persevere. We must be doing our part. Don't try to be over smart. Let the wisdom come through our stoopings instead of following the wisdom, instead of chasing the pleasures. We simply need to do our part. We need to do our bit. And the things will come of their own. We will be able to get what we want. We need not be try to become over smart. Let the wisdom come at the appropriate time without wasting our efforts in chasing the pleasures. Over to the Table Topic Master.
Thank you, Toastmaster Paramjit. You're very right. Let us wait, be patient, let the wisdom come. But yes, as we all know, it is generally when we are in trouble that we think, we introspect, we analyze what went wrong, what did not, what could have been better. It is then that we gain knowledge. and then we patiently wait, try to undo the wrong. But on the contrary, when we are soaring high, when we are doing wonderfully well, we do not have the time to sit back, think, and understand what we did well, why things happened the way it happened. So it is generally when we stoop, when we are low, that we introspect and we are wiser than when we are soaring and sailing high in the sky. Thank you so much, Team Paramjit. And can we have the next volunteer, please?
We have Toastmaster Meenu raised her hand. So can we have Meenu?
Sure. Since Toastmaster Meenu is a little experienced, so here comes your topic.
Okay.
A truth that's told with a bad intent beats all the lies that you can invent.
A truth that is told with a bad intent speaks all the lies that we can think of, right?
Yes, that you can invent.
That you can invent.
I like the rhyme.
Sir, they are famous poets, so they do have to rhyme.
Thanks, Toastmaster Keza, for the wonderful topic. A very good morning, Toastmasters and fellow guests. So, though in this few seconds I was trying to think of some story, but I'm not able to think of any. But I'll just try my thoughts on it. So, it is generally like we have seen that even Lord Krishna says that it is the intent which matters, not the words. Sometimes we lie to a person just with a good intent. So if a person is on the on the death bed, at that point in time, we'll always prefer to calm the person down, to just tell that person that he has some life to live, right? Or not on the deathbed. In sometimes if we come across a patient of cancer, if we'll just tell him that, oh, you are having this disease, there are many few months left for you. So then it depends upon the person that how he or she will take it. He would like to live the rest of the life with happiness, or just want to live that, or he may be in a sad situation that he has just a few months to live. So if we if we are just telling him with a bad intent that we just the person has very few months to live, and then we have the intention that, oh, this person did something bad to me, and now though his family members are somehow trying to hide the situation, but let me tell him. So in that point in case, that this can be a scenario where it hits hard to the cancer patient, and he can invent all in that person that he might like to tell him that, oh, this was the stance in the back, and now we can reconcile on that. So there can be many cases around this situation. So I believe that it is always intention which matters. So if we are having a good intention, it always works best, even if we are lying to a person. So a person's emotions and the intention of telling anything at any point in time should be limited, and we should not have a bad intent. Thank you.
Perfect, Toastmaster Meenu. It was perfect. And you got the point right. It is the intent which matters. Truth, lies come a little later. And I did not say that, actually, because I am a strong believer of truth. And your thoughts, however clear, however your intent might be good, it is the truth that helps. But definitely the bad intent is not acceptable. We might do anything. The basic reason we are human, or at times we are considered a part of God, is because we should not be hurting someone in front. A truth with a bad intent, if I want to hurt you, I say something bad to you, doesn't make that truth worthwhile. Whereas, as you just said, to a patient, if we say, yes, you have some time with you, you can live a little longer, that gives the patient hope. And nothing is a better gift than the gift of hope. The person might think, okay, fine, I have some time, rather than live counting the days, okay, I don't have time, and lose out on whatever little time the person has with someone. So absolutely right, the intent is important. Very well done, Toastmaster Vinu. Thank you so much. And who do we have next?
Can we have one of the guests from Atul or Sonal to take it up if they're okay with it?
I was expecting one of them would.
Yeah.
And I actually have very simple topics for them.
Apologies for interrupting. I would request Anishok to stop sharing his screen, because I can't see all the participants.
Yeah.
Thank you, Anishok. Thank you.
By the way, before we move on, I just came to know about it. I had forgotten somehow. Today is Anishok's birthday. So can we just wish Anishok a very happy birthday today? So
very happy
Anishok,
birthday,
I completely missed it. So what a fortunate day to have your speech as well as your birthday.
Right.
So an
Happy
orator is
birthday,
born.
Ashok.
We can say now.
Yes, an orator is born. Perfect.
Okay. Now,
Thank you.
Now over to you, Girija.
I am expecting a volunteer for the next topic.
Atul and Sonal, any one of you, can you please, are you okay to take up a topic? It will be a simple one, so don't worry.
Yeah, simple one, very simple one.
Okay, I think we are waiting for the response. I can take up in the meantime if it's okay.
Okay. Till we have Atul and Sonal decide that yes, they can attempt, and it's not a very big deal, because here we are all gathered to improve upon what we are.
Okay, Sonal
No
wants to
one
listen just
judging
for today.
anyone.
Okay.
Okay, Sonal, that's perfectly all right. Take your time. We all do at some point of the time. We just want to understand, get comfortable before we can move on. So it's perfectly all right. We'll wait till you are ready. And in the meantime, it's for the multiple role Toastmaster.
I'm
as
also a
always.
guest, so please give me a simple topic.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
It's very simple. I'll just have 4 words for you. Yes. They were some particular ones that I loved the most, and I had kept it for 2, 3 important people I want to hear actually. Locate it. Just give me a second. Just give me a second.
Yeah, sure. The more Toastmaster Girija is taking time, the more scared I am becoming. So it's like,
because there are certain people. Yes, I got it. Certain people who we want to, grasp, learn from their experience, what they have learned so far. They have been here for a long time, and it is for us to learn from them. So, Toastmaster Ipsit, here's the topic. Distracted from distraction by distraction.
Okay. So this is something that I can relate to it, not now, but from, I don't know, time immemorial, because I am a person who easily gets distracted by a lot of things. So when I was a kid, I used to be a cook. I used to cook for my mom. I used to be a painter. I used to draw and paint whatever comes to my mind. I used to be a traveler. So when I say I used to travel when I was a kid, it's a little far-fetched, but not that way. I used to travel states, but I used to go out of the home and explore the nearby places. So that was also a big achievement for me when I used to go out, step out and see different houses, stepping out from my house. Now, when I grew up, the first thing that I did after my class 12 was follow journalism, because I used to love, my father was a journalist. He was working at Times of India. So I have seen him writing and scripting and reading out in front of people. So I went into journalism, completed my diploma in journalism and started working for Filmfare. But that was not enough. So after that, immediately I started doing BTech. So that's the first hint of distraction, because I was not sure what journalism took me. So I decided to do computer science and then go back maybe in animation. But again, after that, you will not believe what I did. I joined TCS as an IT consultant. So a journalist doing computer science BTech joined TCS and again was not happy. So I did masters in arts in English literature. I thought, oh, that's not enough. So I would not remain satisfied with that. So I went on to do MBA in marketing and joined a financial firm. So I was very far from financial industry, but I joined it. But later on, I thought, oh, that's not enough for me. So I joined in automobile sector. So that's what happens when you're distracted and you're not sure of what you want to do in your life. So that was even not enough after that. And I joined Toastmasters and kept on speaking every Sunday. So people, when I used to share my CV to the interviewers, they always ask me a very simple question. What do you want to do in your life? So, and I have never had that answer. But one thing I'm very certain of, that all those distractions we have on our life, it's just because we are very passionate about something. We just try to experiment things that we love. So when we try to experiment and we're passionate and we love of what we're doing, it's no more a distraction, but it's a multiple attraction for all of us. And we love that and we take this journey forward and we enjoy that journey. So that's my part of it. When the distractions becomes your love, it becomes attraction. And any number of attraction can never be a part of your distractions. Over to you, Toastmaster Gilja.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Ipsit. And it was a wonderful delivered speech and sharing the parts of your life and which we could all relate to. I guess many of us are here who have been jumping from here to there and there and there again. As Toastmaster Anish pointed out, it's the quest, the search for self, what we want without a clear thought. Nothing, nature has provided everything. It's there in us, but it is for us to see it, which we do not. Life doesn't come as a limpid pool. It doesn't give you the proper reflection. You need to think. So, but at the same time, it's a good thing that you have been jumping and moving in that quest. You did not stop, because staying put at one place would have probably stagnated you. And thank God you are as bad as the worst and as good as the good. You are where you are. And we are all here with you. You are directing path, giving directions to many of us. And that's a wonderful journey, I must say.
Thank you so much, Girija. I think that was a better version of that topic than what I delivered, but thank you so much for that feedback.
Thank you so much. Who do we have next? Can we have Toastmaster? Can we have Atul Sharma ji, if you are okay, taking up a small topic?
I think,
Yeah. Maybe next week I can do that.
Sure, no issues.
We can have Anurag or Anish taking up as well, not a problem.
Yes, and I'll have to look for something difficult for either or both of them.
Yes, definitely. More than me.
Dr. Anurag, are you game?
No, you are not going to spare me, so
yes.
I do not have an option, as I can see it very clearly.
Fine, Dr. Anurag, hold on. Here comes.
Missed opportunity, Anurag.
Many of us couldn't
said
relate
limpidly.
Many of us can relate why Anurag said that Toastmaster Girija won't spare her. So again, I would not like to point it out, but anyway, over to you.
See, I know I'm in the minority here, and as most men think that women are the...
No, not in that way at all. Completely not in that way.
And, whatever.
Okay, so before Dr. Girija, if I may, I just jotted a few lines about winter. So as Ipsit pointed out, I would like to just share it with you all, if it's okay. What winter means to me.
Go ahead, definitely. Anything.
The topic, yeah. Ironically, my wife was born in Odisha and she loves the winter of Shimla. I, being born in North, I love the winter in Puri. So for the last few years, we have been going to Puri very regularly during the winter vacations, and I have been having a whale of a time each time. So I just jotted a few lines a short while ago. So it's about the coast of Puri. Limpid waves lashing the shore, a fisherman with his jaded oar. Been there, done that many a times. Still my heart yearns for more. So this is what winter means to me.
That's
A
wonderful.
vacation at the beach of Puri.
We generally give impromptu speeches as an impromptu poem, and that's amazing. Okay.
So Dr.
Great.
Girija, am I excused for today?
I
No.
don't think so. Okay.
I don't think so.
Okay. Shoot then.
Okay. And the topic for you is, listen to this carefully. Ones, not half of two. Two are halves of one. One, or rather one is ones, not half of two. Two are halves of one.
So is that supposed to be a table topic or a puzzle? So I'm really not being able to grasp it. So could you just explain it out to me?
That would interrupt or be an insertion to your train of thoughts.
So please, apologies everyone, just let me write it down. I can't grasp it. Yeah, just once.
Ones, O-N-E apostrophe S, not half of two. Two are halves of one.
Okay, so as they say, poetry is always very subjective. It's as intangible as can be. Even when we used to write about poetry, we were given a passage when we were in school. We used to write, the poet says, or in Hindi, Kavi kehna chahta hai. But still, it was our perception. We never knew what the poet had in her or his mind when they were jotting down those lines. So my better half says this very often, that you do not need the other person to complete you. You are, as you are, complete in yourself. The other person can only complement you, be your partner, walk with you, support you when you fall, whatever the case may be. But the age-old idioms, as we have come across many a times, that a person completes the other person, mostly seen in partners, in romantic liaisons, that does not always hold true. Every person is whole, complete, maybe broken, maybe jaded, maybe dilapidated, but is a package in himself or herself. So, as Dr. Girija rightly pointed out in that, I won't say quote, the few lines or the couplet from a poem, and I still can't grasp the words, but yes, maybe I have grasped essence or the subjectivity or the intangible element that the poet tried to inscribe with their quill, that you are the world unto yourself. You complete yourself. Let people come, let people join you, let people be a part of the journey, but never wait for someone to come out of the blue and complete you. You are whole. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anurag. You did get the essence. Although, as you just said, its poetry is as tangible or as intangible. I completely agree with you there. And although we all love poetry, getting to what was exactly in the mind of the poet when he jotted down those words is actually a mystery, the biggest mystery, I would say. Because they say out of pain, poetry, out of pain, beautiful pieces of art.
Out of pain, from out of pain, beauty. Irving Stone has said that.
Okay. Thank you for the correction. And you have got the essence right. One's not half of two is what I understood when I read these lines. One's not half of two. Absolutely. As you pointed out, we are not incomplete. We are a whole person. We are not a half of two, but two are halves of one. You know, how would you put that exactly? I'm not really sure. If we consider a family as a unit and a couple as two halves, yes, we are halves of that unit. but as one person, we are not incomplete.
I would rather say the two people can complement each other.
Absolutely. You complement each other. You do not
complete.
You are born complete. You have been born complete. You are a soul person. As we all know, we are born alone, we go alone. It's a journey, everyone's own journey. We are complete. And when we do get a partner, the partner complements us, pushes us, corrects us. That is what the role of a partner, a friend, a guide is. And this is what here at Toastmasters we all do. We all complement each other. We all boost each other. We all correct each other. We are here to pull each other up and go on our own individual journeys as well.
Girish, I would just like to take a different take, to this topic on a corporate basis. So it's generally said when you are working for an organization, as we all are at some part of our life. So it's the individual skill sets, the individual talent, or the hard work that is put to take forward the organization. The organization is considered as a single entity, and we all employees, or we all who contribute to stakeholders of the organizations, can be considered as two halves or multiple halves of that organization. But ultimately, it's the individual and the organization which are complete. So related to the family as well, individually we can contribute, but whenever we join together, that full becomes even a better one, because that has the efforts of a lot of people and not a single one. But irrespective of saying that the single one has a full significance, but things cannot be done until two halves join together to form one. But one shouldn't be divided into two halves. So that's what I believe, or I understood when you get the topic.
Perfectly well, perfectly said. I totally agree with you. And this was my take when I read these lines. And I don't think we have anyone else here.
And poems makes it. Anishok, I think you can go ahead.
Yes, Anishok. Yes, sorry. So sorry, Anishok. How could I forget you?
No.
Toastmaster Girija, just I want to add one line that the poetry, the lines which you put, it's something like 1 + 1 can make 11, or 1 + 1 can make 2, or 1 + 1 can make 0 as well. So it all depends what the one is. So become the one which will make 11 rather than 0.
Wow, that's amazing.
Very well said. Very well said, Chintan. But the moment you said 1 + 1 could be 2, could be 11, could be 0, I started thinking of all the books I read during my medical career, because there nothing was certain. Every person, every patient is an individual patient. Although we say this is medical science, here is your granth, you read it, you become a doctor. But when you actually go out into the field, you realize there is no set rule for anything. Okay, there is a basic, there's an umbrella principle, but there is nothing certain. You are working with a complete different gene set. You're working with a complete different chemical that you're adding to that gene set, and what and how the patient would react to it, you have no clue. So it somehow reminded me of my medical days, and I still say it is this one science where you don't have a result. 1 + 1 could be anything from 1 to infinity.
Yes, I could. Same, Girija. He told about 1 + 1 is 11, 0 and 1. I just went back to my coding days when we used to just add everything, no result came out. And then the mentor or the faculty used to say, that depends on God on what result comes out. You just have to type out everything. So that is how it is. Because it's digital, we have no control on that. So great discussion. I'm loving it. Anyway, let's go to Anishok for the next topic. We can have Anishok as the last speaker before we move on to the evaluation section, and we can then wrap it up.
Can you take care of the time for me? Or maybe someone else.
Yeah, I will take care.
Okay, Anishok, are you ready?
Yep, ready as I'll ever be.
Okay, these are lines from, I'll tell you where they are from after you've delivered. An idle mind is a devil's workshop, and I'm prone to renting out my mind to the first bidder.
I guess I kind of relate with what you just said, because I've been there. I've been idle, completely idle, trust me. And it was not a good place to be in mentally. Because very honestly, when you're idle and when you're just like sitting there and just relaxing and trying to think of nothing, You are actually thinking of 100 different things, and I do not mean in a good way. So an idle mind, yes, indeed, it can be a devil's workshop, but I'll tell you something more. Before you go idle in your mind, if you have that 1 millisecond of that conscious effort to give your mind one direction to idle away in, trust me, you will have a much constructive thought process. And my mind has been that way for as long as I can remember. It just took me a while to figure it out. So the next time when I go idle, if I ever do, what I do is simply sit down there, and just before I switch off from the world, I give myself a thought, something like, what is the universe made of? And then I go idle. That's it. That's all I do. And trust me, I've thought of more ways the universe is made up of than Stan Lee could think of in his Marvel comics. But that's not all, right? That's not all about being idle or about thinking in one line of thought. It is about focusing, right? But focus isn't something which is common. It doesn't just happen to you. It's a conscious effort. And that's the conscious effort that we all need to make, every one of us. And believe me, once that slight conscious effort is made, no devil will ever invade your workshop. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Anishok. And just for everyone's information, these lines are from a novel, Half a Shadow. And we have the author with us, our grammarian of the day. And these happen to be one of my favorite lines, so I did use it here today. And you're very right. The moment we sit idle, we tend to drift away. But before that millisecond of drifting away and giving the train of thoughts for the devil to hold and direct, to give it direction in a wrong place, let us intervene, put that stone into the limpid pool of how the universe was created. And who knows, the next Marvel series could be ours. Thank you so much, everyone. That was wonderful participation. Over to you,
Thank you
TM.
so much, Girija. Can we have a round of applause for a wonderful TTM? And whenever Toastmaster Girija takes up the role of Table Topics Master, it's poetry all around. And tabletop poetries are actually good sources of table topics, because table topics is everything about perspective, right? What we think, what we perceive, and how we feel about everything, and that's what we speak. So that's how Toastmaster Girija is. And we have a great poet and writer, Toastmaster Anurag also. I used to also write poems before, and these things actually inspires to go back and start scripting, because everybody of us here is a poet. We deal with poetries in our own ways, maybe with our work, with our feelings, with our words, and sometimes with publishing our content. So that's how it is. So thank you so much, Toastmaster Girija, and all the speakers who contributed today, and definitely Toastmaster Atul and guest Atul and guest Sonal. We would like to hear you next time. It's always a good time the next time to listen to you. So please come prepared, or I say come be ready to speak, or you take your own sweet time, because everybody has their own pace and own readiness to take the things forward. So with this, let us quickly move on to our last section so that we can wrap it up in time. Today we had thought that we would wrap things off in 1.5 hours, and we are growing towards it so successfully. So to start our third section, which is called as evaluation section. So this is a section when we get our feedback about the things we did, about the things we spoke, how we can improve, what all good things that we have done. And before I go on and give my part of the feedback, I would like to call upon the evaluator for today, Toastmaster Minu, to evaluate the speech of Toastmaster Anish. Now, Toastmaster Minu has 2 to 3 minutes to evaluate the speech. I will be keeping care of the time so that Toastmaster Anish can concentrate on the evaluation that is given to him. So over to you, Toastmaster Minu, to evaluate Toastmaster Anish. You have 2 to 3 minutes to complete your evaluation.
Okay. Thank you, Toastmaster Ipshit. So, who sees the glass as it is and knows how to refill it, and thinks that yes, the glass is refillable. Congratulations, Toastmaster Anishok. I feel that the speech was like the glimpses which you shared of yourself, it was entirely connected with the last words which you had in the speech, that I see the life as it is and I know that I can refill it. So dear friends, what I liked about Toastmaster Anishok's speech was that the title was very well aligned with the beginning of the speech. The way he said, the title of the speech was the definition of the self. And then in his speech, like he told everyone, and we all know that Toastmaster Nishok, before even giving his first speech, he was the contestant at the division level topics. So we all have heard him, but we don't know him, his real self. And the way he challenged the audience to speak right at this moment and describe themselves as a even individual, not as the degrees they hold or the persons they are. So very well done, Toastmaster Anishok. The transitions in your speech were very smooth. The glimpses which you shared about your life, be it how you try to help your parents after the conversation they had, and how your father told you that don't grow up my child so quickly. So I felt that your speech, everyone was able to relate to, as Toastmaster Girija and Toastmaster Paramjit sir said, that everyone has something gained out of your speech and can relate to how a wonderful person you are, how you took the challenges, how from a misfit child in the school, how you like proved yourself after scoring well. So in life, I believe that it is not about all the bullies or all the wrong things which are told to us. It is to be focused and to gain what we want to achieve in life, and then slapping everyone on the face by your achievements. And you have done that very wonderfully. And and on top of that, what I liked in your speech was the spontaneity. You could use a word of the day, and you had the examples of how you learned the lesson of confidence in your life. All in all, I felt it was very good. But since you are already a very good speaker, to take your speech a notch higher, a few suggestions I would like to give is that you could stand and speak so that you can relate to the people and people can have a better body language of yours. And secondly, to have a little of voice modulation. When you said that my father was shocked, you could give a long pause or you could react that way. So these are just the two suggestions which I would like to give you. All in all, I would say that the speech was very good. The transitions were smooth. You had the confidence. People know you now as a person. It's just a little bit to take it a notch higher. If you can work on the voice modulation and a little bit, like we can see you. Don't take it as a virtual stage. If you can take the feel of a real stage, it will be helpful. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Minu, and just believe me, I have been attending so many contests across the country, and this was one of the evaluations. It's completely contest worthy, and I think Anisha could also agree, because
I agree. I mean,
it's completely. I was mesmerized by the evaluation, all the parts you have covered. So I am evaluating Toastmaster Minu today as well, because it is one of her project of evaluating a person. So as a general evaluator, I'm evaluating Minu, so that's why I'm doing that. So Toastmaster Minu, you have covered most of the points, and three important pillars of evaluation is always the commendation, what things is done, then demonstration of those commendation, that why you loved it. So you yourself did that. You yourself said that when you said about his father, the statements, and when you recommend also, you give the points, what point that person can improve. So you gave it like when he was saying about his father, or when his father said don't grow up, he could have that voice modulation, he can stand up, go behind, and have the body gestures better. And the third pillar is summarizing of what you are saying in an evaluation. Many people, many Toastmasters miss the summarization part, and therefore they miss out in most of the contest as well, but that was also wonderfully done. So that's the effort of your hard work that you have put in. And just one feedback from my side is that you can structure your evaluation a little bit more in a better manner so that the commendation gets over when till the time you see the yellow card. So that recommendation part goes on for 1 minute or 40 seconds and then you can summarize. Because when we give our recommendations, at that time the speaker becomes more alert because he knows what good things he has done. So he is very happy about it. But when he listens on what feedback that he wants to have or how he can improve that, you demonstrated very perfectly well, but how someone can improve voice modulation. So that part you could have incorporated because the speaker understood that voice modulation was required, but how? Maybe by having two characters, having a discussion between those two characters, or we also have in a voice intonation like shouting and then not shouting as a practice, or caricaturing, or what you may say, imitating somebody. So those are the practice ways how we can change our voice modulation because it's very difficult to have a different voice than our natural voice. So there are some tips that you could have given, but except that it was a wonderful evaluation. I simply loved it. So all the best for your future evaluations and your project as completion. So we have completed two projects today. One, the icebreaker of Toastmaster Anish, and project 3 of level 1 of Toastmaster Meenu as an evaluator. So kudos to you.
Toastmaster.
So let us now move on quickly to the second section. The meeting started 3 minutes delay, so 3:33 because we are waiting for a couple of people to join. So although we always aspire to start the meeting exactly at 10:30 and therefore we have kept our assembly time as 10:15, we had 3 minutes delay, so that could definitely be improved the next time onwards. And then coming on to the Sanjitams, Minu took it up impromptu on the spot because our Sanjitams was missing today, and really good work done by you. You had the document, so it's okay if you read it out initially. So, but you had the document ready hand with your in front of you, and you read it out. So that gave a very clear-cut picture of what we should do and what we shouldn't do. Now, as the Toastmaster of the day, as the general evaluator, and as the president, I would take my feedback offline. So, how I performed. Now, coming to the speaker was already evaluated by Toastmaster Meenu, so I would not like to add just a few points that came to my mind when he spoke. Because you are a good speaker, not as an icebreaker, it was perfect, it was awesome. So, nothing to say on that, but because you have the potential to go a step ahead and challenge yourself, one thing that Meenu said, you could definitely stand up and use the stage. Not only stand up. Why we stand up? So we can use the stage because an icebreaker is somewhere you can actually use the stage to denote different parts of your life. So for example, at the left hand side, you can say about your childhood. The middle part, you can say about your teenage or college days, and the right hand side, you can say about the future. So the future part was something that I missed it to just pip more to your thought process of what you are aspiring to do in future. Just because of that, nothing else. If you would like to know more that how you are going to rediscover yourself in future, although that's not certain, but something would be there in your mind that yes, I'm going to do this. And then you can merge all the three parts of the stage and come in between and give your version. Like you said about, you defined yourself initially at the first part of your speech. So you could have done that at the back part of your stage, then come forward in the middle part, describe your life, and then come forward and redefine yourself. So what happens when the audience sees the stage movement, they could relate to it. So whenever next time you come forward, they would say, oh, you are in a redefined stage and not in your past stage. So that works. So you could work it out to just challenge yourself and also go through all the videos I sent you. I will also send it in the group. So those are the last 20 years of world champion speakers videos. So you can definitely see it and not copy them at all. So do it at your own free will. Just take the tips and tricks of how they were impactful and how we can improve on it. So this is all from my side to the speaker. Now coming to the table topic speaker. So I will just evaluate everybody with a single liner, a good thing and something that we can improve. Again, not in particular order. Toastmaster Paramjit. Paramjit sir, it's always good to hear you. And the best thing about your speeches or your table topics is the content, the way you think and the way you perceive the topic, and you give a message. You always give a message out, and that's a great thing I like about your speech. I have a suggestion, not for table topics, but please also give some prepared speeches very soon in our session because we love listening to you. So those table topics, if expanded to 7 minutes, just think how mesmerizing it will be. So that is just a suggestion from my side. Please come ahead and give a speech also and take forward your journey. That's from my side.
Thank you. I will try.
Toastmaster Chintan, again, you are a wonderful speaker. I loved your take on the second topic, even more, the one's not half of two topic, but your topic also you understood, you gave perfect examples and delivered it brilliantly. And you are also playing the role of our counter simultaneously. and I have noted your hours as well. So I will let you know. So thanks for always coming up and being that charismatic Toastmaster as always. And let me tell all the audiences here that Chintan not only attends our session, keeps on going across the country and attending various sessions. So that shows the interest and the growth also he has since last 2 months. He has joined 2 or 3 months. He's a very new Toastmaster, but it doesn't appear like that he have joined Toastmasters so recently. So kudos to you, Chintan. Keep on growing, keep on learning, and keep on helping each other out. Now coming to Toastmaster Anishok, again, one great thing I liked about your table topics, you experimented with your body, because I have seen you in your table topics contest, in evaluation contest, and in your speech also, which you delivered. You keep your body stationary. So at least you tried out, went out of comfort zone and tried with your body, thinking about the world and coming forward. So that was a great thing that you did. Keep on challenging yourself. Contentment was always good. Time wise, you could, again, I would like to repeat, just take note of the time. You were just about to cross that 2 minutes 30 seconds, although you were within your time limit, but could have crossed. So that's the risk you always have. And we have seen recently something happening in one of the contests that the speaker was wonderful. He was the deserved winner, but he crossed the time and therefore he couldn't. So we don't want our Panchkula members doing that in sessions at least. So kudos to you for your speech. And coming to Toastmaster Minu, again, Toastmaster Minu, kudos to you for taking up the topic and speaking. I love the content. And again, Girija also summarized of what you said. The good thing I liked about your speech that other people can also follow is that you took 5 to 10 seconds to think and then start speaking. So I was confirming this with Toastmasters International, whether it is allowed or not. It is definitely allowed. So I was also not clear about it. So the timing starts when the speaker starts verbally or non-verbally, the movements. Then only the timing starts, or else the timing doesn't start. So you can definitely take 5 to 10 seconds or 15 seconds in a session, 15 seconds in a contest, 5 seconds or 10 seconds, so that to structurize your speech. So it's always better to speak sense by taking time rather than just start speaking and not making sense related to the topic. So that's a really good work done by you, and we all can learn. I also have a tendency to start immediately and then I just get the sense of the topic once I have spoken 2 or 3 sentences. So it's always good not to speak, think about it and then speak. So kudos to you, Toastmaster Minu, for that attempt. And now I think I have covered everyone. Okay. And finally, Toastmaster Anurag, you're as usual good. It was a very difficult topic, even though guests acknowledged, even we were thinking what we could speak. But again, the difficult topic pushes you to go out of that comfort zone. So easy topic, you know that you are a good speaker already and you can speak. So it's only when you are challenged, it's only you are pushed to the brink, you start thinking. And I think you understood the topic well, what Toastmaster Girija wanted to say. So the theme and the topic you could understand and you could try to portray it in your own way. And one good thing about your topic is that you related to something that was spoken today. Even Toastmaster Paramjit did that. So they related to something that was already spoken today and could relate to that topic. So that's always another step further in the impromptu speaking. And that signifies that you are also listening to other speakers whenever you are speaking. So not only you are talking, but also listening, which is an important part of communication. So this is all from my side as evaluating the table topic speaker. Now finally coming to the table topics master, Toastmaster Girija, wonderful work done. Again, as I said, the topics were difficult, I agree. But again, difficult topics helps us to grow. And most of us have seen table topic sessions. So it's not like that we have not seen. And you also encourage the guests to come up and speak, and you had separate set of topics for the guest, which is always recommendable. And the best part of your table topics masters role play is that you summarize the table topic speakers very well and you give your part of the opinion. Because as I said, poetry, you must have given the topic thinking something else. The speaker spoke something different, but you summarized it and made it a complete circle. That this is what I thought. Therefore, I took this topic. This is what you spoke, and this is how wonderfully this was done. So kudos to you for that, and we really look forward to you, to Paramjit sir, to Anurag sir, to start with your prepared speeches also. And I'm sure you're going to mesmerize us all. And Chintan, you also can come forward and give a speech in our session. We'll be privileged enough if you can join in. And so this is all from my side. Now moving quickly to our role players. We have our grammarian today, Toastmaster Anurag. So Toastmaster Anurag, can you please let us know how all of us perform? And I could hear a lot of usage of the word of the day. So I think you would have a good report for us to share. So over to you, Toastmaster Anurag.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ipsit. So I have jotted down a few points, and this is for all. I won't say this was a part of a particular speech or a particular person's oration. Firstly, when we use a plural, for example, leaders, students, and when there is a verb following that. For example, leaders deliver a speech. So it should not be delivers. So a couple of times, or maybe 3 times, it was observed that after a plural, the verb had an S. So the students prepare for their exam. The students prepares would be wrong. Similarly, I would just want to highlight the usage of an article, a and the. If I say, as I grow, I will gather wisdom. So there is no need to use an article before wisdom. But if I have to talk about a particular wisdom, as I grow, I will gather the wisdom of differentiating right from wrong. So at that place, an article, specifically the, can be used. So we have to be very discreet or very particular about using an article. The is used when we are talking about a particular thing, which is specific. Otherwise, a can be used, and can be used, or we can just do away with an article if required. Another highlight that I would like to share is, during one of the speeches, the orator said he was like angry. So either a person is angry or the person is not. So we can just avoid using the word like. He was like happy to see me. The person is either happy or not. So this is a very common mistake that most of us commit. We use the word like. It has to be specific. The word limpid was used many times by Anish, Chintan, Dr. Girij also used that word as well. Sorry. Due to dearth of time, and I was not prepared, it was my fault that I could not specify how to use the word limpid. The word limpid means clear, transparent. It is mostly used for inanimate objects. For using your feelings, I would say lucid is a better term. Lucid thought process. I can say limpid eyes, limpid sky, limpid water. So it gravitates more towards being transparent. But lucid is a much better word. But I really appreciate that many of the participants at such a short notice use the word limpid. Another word used was slowly by slowly, the phrase. So I would suggest that we can say gradually, slowly by slowly. We can say gradually. So lastly, there are a few more points, but I would rather keep them for the next session because I just want people to concentrate on 3 to 4 points so that they can take that home. Nowadays, the convention is to use the word they instead of he or she. A few months ago, I commissioned someone to write a few articles for my website. So what she did was correct according to the latest convention, but I kept on correcting wherever she had written they. I just thought she's talking about poets. So if she says they, it is wrong. She has to say he or she. So the convention nowadays is to write they. They is just a collect. They here is not a plural. We have to keep in mind that this is not used as a plural, but as a collective term for he or she. So that is all it meant.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Anurag, for that wonderful grammarian report and letting us know the impacts of where we can improve. And this is a very common mistake that we all do when we speak about the agreement with the subject and the verb, or the usage of the articles of a and the and he or she. This is one thing that I also keep these things in mind, because with the latest convention we use they, but I personally
because we have grown up using he or she.
Yes.
So this is a very new convention for us.
Very new convention with us. So I generally feel very, because I was attending a convention and there it was referred to as they, but I feel comfortable saying he or she because that denotes a particular person and not plural. Because as humans we think they means plural. So So it may take some time for the individuals to grow. And thank you for your feedback. And I hope that everybody would be getting proper. Yes, Toastmaster Binu.
Yes, I just want to clarify on this point that they, so it is like we are saying that it is out of a respect to the person we are saying it as a they, or how
No,
it
no,
is?
no, Toastmaster Minu. It is a convention now. It's an asexual thing now. As the word is proceeding towards
Like
equality.
just to relate it, previously used to say chairman, right? So it changed to chairperson, so that it will not denote that it's a man or a woman, but it's chairperson. So similarly, they is used for that
Even
reason.
in cricket, it's not a batsman now, it's a batter.
Yeah, it's a better.
They don't say a batsman or a batswoman, it's a batter now.
So
It's
just
a
to make things
sportsperson.
equal for everybody and not to denote explicitly the gender of that person. So we
Because as we say, it can be, as the norms are nowadays, it can be he, it can be she, it can belong to the LGBTQ community. So it can be, the choice may vary, the person's personality may vary. So even a he or she cannot encompass all the personalities of different people.
Totally.
So we have started using they, and I think that's a right step in the right direction.
Yes, sure.
Okay,
Definitely.
that's it, learning.
Some days,
Thanks, Anurag.
Toastmaster also.
Yes.
Someday I think someone will change the word Toastmaster also.
Yeah, Toastmaster is very inclusive, by the way. If you use the word Toastmaster, it doesn't define your qualifications. It doesn't define, even we have LGBTQ clubs. I'm part of one of those clubs in the eastern part of India. And there we refer everybody as Toastmasters. We don't know whether the person has whatever preferences. We refer everyone as Toastmasters. So it's a very inclusive word from the very beginning. So definitely, why not? Okay. So coming on to our last role player, our timer, Toastmaster Anish. From my side, you were within your time. Okay, we have an R counter also. Sorry, Chintan. So we'll go to the R counter first, and then we'll come to the timing report. From my side, the timings of both your speech and the evaluation of Toastmaster Minu were within your time. It's 3 minutes, 15 seconds for Toastmaster Minu, and 6 minutes, 27 seconds for Toastmaster Anishok. You're within the time. Over to you, Toastmaster Chintan, for the R counter.
Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. And I would say today's meeting was our counter's delight. I enjoyed the meeting so much because communication was seamless. However, I could able to find few of the filler words used by the speakers and role players. And here's the report. Starting with Sergeant at Arms, Toastmaster Minu had used one so, and apart from that, her speech was flawless. Our president during the presidential address has used one and two so. As part of his Toastmaster of the Day address, he had used 3 times so, 2 times but, and 1 time and taken the time during an entire keynote session. This was really commendable. Coming to speech evaluator Minu, during the introduction of a speaker, she had used 2 times so, 1 time Speaker Anishok, I have to confess and mention that it was one of the finest icebreaker I have witnessed. He had used 2 times so, and one strange thing I have observed that he had used that as a repeated word for 5 times. So kindly look into that, because you have used a filler word that for particular 5 times. Then coming to table topics master Girija, she had used 2 times so and only 1 and it's a commendable job, because she had taken also a long time as a part of table topics master. In between, Toastmaster Paramjit was asked about the theme of winter, and he has used 2 times so. Table topic speaker, the session started with me, so it is up to Toastmaster Ipsit to evaluate. The second speaker was Toastmaster Paramjit, flawless speech. I could not able to find any filler word. So kudos to Toastmaster Paramjit. Then was Toastmaster Minu. Like was used 3 times and so was used 2 times. I suggest Toastmaster Minu, or I would say request Toastmaster Minu to use shorter sentences, and that might improve or decrease the number of counts you might have so and like. Then came Toastmaster Ipsit. He had used only 2 times so. Then Toastmaster Anurag. Toastmaster Anurag had used only once so. And Toastmaster Anishok, star of the meeting had used only one time so, and it was a near flawless speech. Then came the session of evaluation. As a part of evaluation report, Toastmaster Minu had used one time so, two times and one times like. As a part of evaluator for Toastmaster Minu, our general evaluator Toastmaster Ipsit was flawless. He had not used a single filler word or a crutch word. During the GE report, Toastmaster Ipsit had used because 3 times. So it is a strange thing, but a repeated word, so I just noted down. As a part of Grammarian report, Toastmaster Anurag had used once So it was a near perfect or a flawless speech, a flawless report. And with that, I might have used or so multiple times during this report. And I hand over the virtual podium to our general evaluator, Toastmaster Ipsit.
Thank you so much, Chintan. Can we have a round of applause for Chintan for noting down the filler words for every speaker? And that shows how intently he was listening the whole session.
That too for every round.
For every round.
It's an unenviable, unenviable job.
So that's really good work done. And coming to your, because you are requested to know for me to note down, you had a tendency of using and but. So for 3 times and but for 2 times during your table topics. And as you said, because that any word can be a filler word if it is used repetitive out of context. So it's not necessary to use those words which are defined. So any word, if it is not used in context, is a filler word. So can be used in context and not be a filler word. But if it is used out of context just to join 2 sentences, then it's considered as that. So that is from our R counter. Wonderful work done. So our competition is growing very strong today when we have our session awards from the role players itself. So that's really good work. And now over to the timer as to Toastmaster Anish. You can just note down and tell us the timings of the table topic speaker. Other 2 speakers I have already.
All right. So we had no disqualifications, and the table topic speakers that I have. Okay, just give me a second. I'll tell you each one. Should I tell you specific times for everyone? Or
if you have noted down, you can say the specific time. If you have not, it's okay, not a problem.
All right. So I noted only for Ipsit, I guess, because the rest I was kind of listening to them and just looking at the time. But fair to say that there was no disqualifications. No one exceeded their time. Everyone was well within time. And I think the earliest finish was by Paramjit sir. He finished just short of 2 minutes. And the closest finished was by Ipsit. He finished at a staggering 2 minutes 29 seconds, which is like, and I literally.
Yeah, I can understand that. So the Anisha got stuck. He was so shocked with my timing. He got stuck for now.
It actually shows he's
it actually
stuck.
shows that he is stuck and he couldn't take my time limit. But anyway, thanks to you, Anisha, whenever you're back online for that timers report. So we are officially over with our sessions. But before ending it, I would like to have a quick feedback from our guest, Atul, how he liked it, because it's the very first time he was exposed to a Toastmasters meeting. We have Sonal as a guest, but I consider Sonal more of a member than a guest. I will be taking the feedback from us separately, but I would like Toastmaster, guest Atul to have or give something or say how he liked the session or did what he expected. Did he find it okay or more than that or less than that? Atul, are you okay to share with us?
Yeah, I really like the session, and I hope that I will grow here.
Yes, definitely. Thank you so much. And keep on attending a few sessions as guest, 1 or 2 more sessions to get a hang of it. And I will definitely connect you offline. Do drop your number in the chat box so that me or one of my team members would like to talk to you and take things forward. Okay, and Toastmaster Anishok is back with his mobile device. So we're just discussing, Toastmaster Anishok, that you were so shocked with my speech timing that you were stuck and you went.
Hope he did not send you a message to tick, I am not a robot.
So sorry, Toastmaster Anishok, for shocking you like that. But kudos to you for that wonderful speech. Happy birthday again, and kudos to every one of you. So generally, we feel when the members are not more than 10 in an online session that the members are less. But let me tell you, when we are having physical session, even if 5 people used to sit in front of us, it used to seem like a crowd. So because of the online forum, we feel that, 10, 15, 20 is also less numbers. We should have 40 members at a session, but it's not like that. And at Panchkula, we believe that if also we have 2 members, we would continue with the session, because we have done that in the past. There is a guest and there is a member, and we continued for table topics for 1.5 hours. Because why somebody should suffer for other people not attending? But we would request if you all to continue attending, and I would keep on pushing people as usual to attend. And I may sometimes sound repetitive when I ping, take up the role, come for the session, but it's just because we all are here for a common purpose, and we have paid to Toastmaster International. Even I pay. So why not to utilize the ROI completely and come here and make friends and learn? Yes, Toastmaster Anurag, over you want to share?
Yeah, I would like to take this opportunity to specifically thank you, Ipsit, and Dr. Girija for always pushing me. I am a very lazy person by nature.
No, it's the same.
Poets normally are.
No,
I
it's
would
same
like to
with
believe
everyone,
that.
because initially when I was asking Toastmaster Meenu to take up roles, I was very little apprehensive because some people don't accept it. Why are you telling me so many times? I would do it when I wish to. But one thing I love what Toastmaster Meenu also said, no, you need to do me. Therefore, I joined. You need to push me, or else I will not come and attend. But once you do, I would do it properly, and she does. So that's we are all here for, to push each other and encourage each other, and that's why we all are part of this club, so that we have a family and we can help each other without any judgment and respect. And also one more thing, we have polls also today. So we have one speaker, one evaluator. So you're definitely the best speaker and best evaluator. Not because you are one, but anyway, there would have been multiple also. I think you would have won straight cut. So can we have a round of applause for Toastmaster Meenu and Anisho for doing a task wonderfully? And finally, we have best table topic speaker and best role player in the polling list. I have not kept myself in the best role player for obvious reasons, because I've done multiple tasks and people tend to give me vote because I'm a president. I don't know why. So I am out of this polling list. So I would keep when I take up a proper role justified. So for now, I have launched the polls. Kindly vote, because these are small gestures of encouragement, but it always puts a smile in our face. And I was discussing with Toastmaster Anurag, it doesn't matter what certificate we get or multiple certificates we get throughout our life. Any sense of encouragement is good. And here also I would like to point out, Toastmaster Anurag, thanks for sharing everything in LinkedIn, because it's very rarely Toastmaster people feel proud and share. They feel, oh, it's a part of life. It just happens every week. But that really shows the strength of the club and also the network and your experiences with the world. Because many people till now don't know Toastmasters. And as Toastmaster, we don't promote that much. So we believe that people will keep coming by pulling factor. They would know from somebody or refer from somebody. So we don't market, we don't promote, and anyway, we don't get paid. So that's how the community grows, by mutual reference. Thanks for that. Oh my God, what is this? Oh my God.
Yes, whatever is written holds true.
Absolutely, I wanted to second it. Absolutely right. And people, human by nature, we are all sloths. We don't want to move. We don't want to get out of our comfort zone. Considering it is winter, that warm cup of tea and that heavy blanket over us is too alluring to get out, get dressed, face the world, even if it's a world of 5 to 10 people. So thank you, Toastmaster Ipsit. It is because of you we get to actually move out of our warm beds, explore ourselves, face the world, take some good memories with us, and continue with the rest of the day. It is all kudos to you, and
it's also very
your
mutual.
humility that you want to pull back despite putting people together. You don't want to be nominated. For me, you are the best role player because you carry multiple flags and do it to a very to the what should I say, perfection itself.
Okay, there's too much to take in on this Sunday, but thank you so much. And it's again the same thing with me, because you all are here. I also get up in the morning and organize a session. It's similar from my side as well. So thank you so much, everybody. So that's another fact that my wife just came in and said that it's the birthday of Anish. Did you wish him? I said, yes, it's already done. So she's not a Toastmaster. She's not involved in Toastmaster at all, but she knows each one of you. And she refers, keeps on referring, keeps on listening to your speeches. That's the essence of it. And I'm really glad to share this with you as well. So Anishok, happy birthday from her as well. So she doesn't have your number, so from her side. Unmute me. Okay. So how can I unmute you? I can just ask to unmute. You are allowed to unmute.
I think you can, because the Zoom meeting and the host can mute and unmute.
Just ask to unmute. I may not able to unmute the person. Okay, anyway, Anishok, I can call you afterwards. So for now, let me just tell the results of this poll. So we have a very close contest again in table topics as usual. So we have a winner today, but we have a winner today, clear-cut winner today, and that was our best speaker who won the best table topic speaker as well. It's Toastmaster Anishok. So can we have a round of applause for Toastmaster Anishok and Toastmaster Chintan, Minu, Paramjit, Anurag, and me? Everybody got a vote and still Anishok won. So, okay, there are 9 people. So kudos to you, Toastmaster Anishok, for winning the best table topic speaker. And the best role player again was a tight fight between our R counter, our grammarian, and our table topics master, but it was won by our table topics master, Toastmaster Girija, as the best role player for today. So kudos to you, table topics master. So although we had planned to finish the session by 12, we are 12:30, but at least finish it by 12:30. And kudos for that. So let's try to wrap it off. But anyway, when we enjoy the session, when we get a lot of feedback and when we interact and when it's more of a conversation than a proper session, it doesn't matter if we extend by half an hour. Who cares? Because that is why we are all here. So thank you all for joining us. Again, let's meet next Sunday. And also we are planning to have a couple of sessions on Saturdays because few members wants to join on Saturdays as well. So we'll just try it out on a Sunday evening and a Saturday evening for a couple of sessions just to see the response, how they're coming, because we don't want them to miss the session just because of the timing. So if whatever works, we will work forward. We have the group, we can discuss. Yes, Chintan, please go ahead.
So I just want to say that for me, it's not about the push, but it's the inspiration you provide to newbies like me. So I keep attending sessions. Yeah, I keep attending sessions.
That's okay.
As you know, I have been part of attending multiple clubs, and the reason I have selected few people, whenever their message comes as an invite in groups, and I have time, I definitely join. So keep inspiring all the new members and existing members, Toastmasters, and your meeting never goes without a theme. I would say your meetings always have a theme of inspiration and wisdom. And today we got so much inspiration and wisdom. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Actually, I don't know at these situations how to respond. I feel really humbled to understand that I inspire people and let them grow. So that's why we are all here for. I have been inspired by a lot of people in Toastmasters and mentors since many years. So if I can contribute the same, I hope that each one of you also can go ahead and inspire people when they join in later on and to take these things forward. So thank you, everybody. So let's join in again and let's have the agenda finalized by Wednesday or Thursday and then join in again next Sunday. And looking forward for speeches more, because this is the only way to grow in our communication once you start giving speeches, writing it down. So I'll reach out to each one of you individually, don't worry, to again push you to write the speeches, get it mentored and delivered like I did for Anishok. I have been pushing him since last 4-5 days, write your speech. And finally he wrote it. Although he was a division representative in the table topics, he had not given a prepared speech. Everything is different. So I wanted him to give. So I can say anything about Anishok. Now he cannot speak in it. So anyway, so let's hope and have a wonderful Sunday and wonderful week ahead till the next time we meet. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everyone. And happy birthday again, Anishok. Have a good
Thanks, everyone. Happy birthday, Anishok.
Happy birthday, Anishok.
Thanks.
Have a great
Bye.
day and a great week, everyone. See you soon.
Yes.